We often talk about business in terms of numbers, revenue, profit margins, market share. We chase metrics, we track KPIs, and we celebrate financial wins. But what if I told you the most valuable asset you can have in business doesn't show up on a balance sheet? It's not money, it's not data, it's trust. Trust is the real currency, the fundamental bedrock upon which every successful, long-term relationship is built. Without it, contracts are just paper, partnerships are fragile, and every small challenge feels like a crisis waiting to happen. With it, collaboration feels effortless, innovation flourishes, and resilience becomes your shared superpower. This isn't just another video with a few quick tips. This is a complete guide to building unshakable credibility with your business partners. We're going to deconstruct what it truly means to be trustworthy, moving beyond the superficial and into the realm of character and consistency. We'll explore the daily actions, the mindset shifts, and the non-negotiable principles that transform a transactional arrangement into a powerful alliance. It's about creating an environment where people feel safe, seen, and secure in the knowledge that you have their back, just as they have yours. So, if you're ready to build partnerships that last, that thrive under pressure, and that create exponential value, then lean in. Because the journey starts not with them, but with you. If you want your business partner to trust and believe in you, don't chase their trust. Become the kind of person who deserves it. Let's explore how. Why do we obsess over trust? Because it's not just a nice to have, it is the essential ingredient for anything meaningful to be built. Think of it like the foundation of a skyscraper. You can't see it from the top floor, but without it the entire structure would collapse at the first sign of a storm. Trust is what allows for vulnerability, and vulnerability is where real collaboration begins. It's the invisible force that prevents misunderstandings from escalating into conflicts. It simplifies decision-making because you're not second-guessing motives or hidden agendas. It opens doors to opportunities you couldn't access alone, simply because someone is willing to vouch for you, to put their reputation on the line for you. When your partners genuinely trust you, something magical happens. They become willing to take risks with you. They'll invest their time, their resources, and their energy, not just in the project, but in you. They will stick with you through the inevitable downturns and the difficult learning curves, not because a contract obligates them to, but because their belief in your character is unwavering. This is how you build long-term, resilient relationships. It's not about having a perfect journey, it's about having a partner who trusts that you will navigate the imperfections with integrity and a shared sense of purpose. Trust is the glue that holds it all together. Integrity isn't a grand, abstract concept reserved for heroic moments. It's practiced in the small, everyday details. It's the simple yet profound act of ensuring your words and your actions are in perfect alignment. Anyone can make a promise. Anyone can talk a big game, but trust is only built when people see that your behavior consistently matches your commitments. This is where the real work lies. It means you must resist the temptation to overpromise just to close a deal. It's far better to underpromise and overdeliver, earning respect through your reliability, than to set an expectation you can't meet, which erodes credibility instantly. Be brutally honest with yourself about your capacity and your capabilities. This commitment to integrity extends to every interaction. It means being punctual for meetings because it signals that you respect their time as much as your own. It means being transparent about problems the moment they arise, not hiding them in the hope they'll disappear. People don't expect perfection, but they do expect honesty. When you bring a problem to the table, along with a potential solution, you aren't showing weakness. You are demonstrating accountability and inviting collaboration. Always keep it real. Authenticity is magnetic. In a world full of polished presentations and carefully crafted narratives, the person who is consistently, unapologetically themselves, and whose actions back it up, is the one who truly stands out and earns lasting trust. Trust doesn't grow in silence. It withers in ambiguity. If integrity is the what, then communication is the how. You can be the most honest person in the world, but if your partners are left in the dark, they will fill that void with their own assumptions and anxieties. This is why clear and consistent communication is non-negotiable. It's not about micromanaging or sending endless meaningless updates. It's about creating a predictable rhythm of information that keeps everyone on the same page. Set up regular check-ins weekly, bi-weekly, and stick to them. This creates a reliable forum for discussing progress, roadblocks, and next steps, preventing small issues from becoming major crises. Embrace the tools that make this seamless. Use shared project management platforms, collaborative documents, and clear communication channels. Document everything of importance, key decisions, action items, and meeting summaries. This isn't about bureaucracy, it's about creating a shared source of truth that anyone can refer to, which eliminates, he said, she said, confusion. And remember, communication is a two-way street. Share the wins and celebrate them together, but be just as quick to share the risks and the challenges. When you let your partner into the entire journey, the good and the bad, you're not just giving them information, you're telling them, we are in this together. That transparency is the soil in which trust grows deep roots. At some point, talk must give way to action, and action must produce results. While your character is the foundation, your track record is the visible structure you build upon it. The most powerful way to build credibility is to let your results speak for themselves. This is why you must meticulously curate your proof. Build a portfolio that doesn't just showcase the final product, but tells the story of the process, the challenges you overcame, the strategies you employed, and the value you created. Gather testimonials from past partners and clients. A third-party endorsement is infinitely more powerful than your own self-promotion. It's objective proof that you deliver on your promises. But what if you're just starting out? What if you don't have a long list of wins to point to? This is where you showcase your process, your discipline, and your values. You can share case studies of personal projects. You can write thoughtfully about your industry, demonstrating your expertise and your way of thinking. You can show your work ethic through your responsiveness and professionalism from the very first interaction. Reputation is not built overnight, it is the cumulative effect of every action you take starting right now. Let every email you send, every deadline you meet, and every conversation you have be a testament to the quality and reliability you stand for. Your proof is being built in real time. In any partnership, things will go wrong. It's not a matter of if, but when. A deadline will be missed, a calculation will be off, a strategy will fail. These moments of failure are the ultimate test of character, and they represent a golden opportunity to either build or shatter trust. The instinct for many is to deflect, to find an external reason, to point a finger. This is poison to a partnership. The leader, the trustworthy partner, does the exact opposite. They take ownership. They raise their hand first and say, "This was my responsibility, and I own the outcome." This doesn't make you look weak, it makes you look incredibly strong. Owning the mistake is just the first step. The second, and more crucial step, is to shift the focus immediately from blame to solution. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you proactively lead the charge on how to make it right. You analyze the problem, you propose a corrective course of action, and you actively seek feedback on how to prevent it from happening again. Asking, "How could I have handled this better?" or "What can we learn from this?" transforms a failure into a lesson and a setback into a step forward. This level of accountability is rare and deeply reassuring. It tells your partner that no matter what happens, you will face the music and work tirelessly to fix it, rather than leaving them to clean up the mess. A business partnership is more than a legal document, it's a human relationship. A contract can define the terms of engagement, but it cannot manufacture loyalty, inspire creativity, or foster resilience. Those things come from genuine human connection. Trust deepens when you move beyond the transaction and invest in the person. This means taking the time to build emotional rapport. Ask about their weekend, remember the name of their child, understand what truly drives them, not just in business but in life. It's about seeing them as a whole person, not just a resource or a means to an end. This isn't about being fake, it's about being genuinely curious and caring. Find common ground outside of the project specs. Discuss your shared values. What principles do you both believe in? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? These conversations build a much deeper, more meaningful alignment than any scope of work ever could. Whenever possible, meet in person, share a meal, look them in the eye. Technology is a wonderful tool for efficiency, but it can't replicate the trust-building power of shared physical space. When you show that you genuinely care about your partner's success and well-being, you create a bond that transcends business. You build a partnership that feels less like an obligation and more like an alliance of two people who want to see each other win. So, there are basically two types of partners in the world: those who wait to be told what to do, and those who see what needs to be done and just do it. To build extraordinary trust, you really have to be the latter. Being proactive is honestly one of the most powerful signals of ownership and commitment you can send. It's about constantly thinking one step ahead, you know? It's about anticipating needs before they're even articulated, and solving problems before they have a chance to escalate. Don't wait for your partner to point out a potential risk in the project plan. Instead, identify it yourself and come to the next meeting with, say, 3 possible mitigation strategies. This demonstrates not just foresight, but a deep investment in the shared outcome. And this spirit of initiative, it should extend way beyond your defined role. If you've got expertise in an area where your partner is struggling, offer to help. If you spot an opportunity that could benefit the partnership, even if it's not directly related to your current task, bring it to the table. This isn't about overstepping boundaries, it's about adopting a mindset of, how can I add more value? When your partner sees that you're constantly and voluntarily working to make the entire venture successful, not just fulfilling your contractual obligations, their confidence in you will absolutely skyrocket. Proactive action is a loud and clear declaration: I am fully committed to our success. Trust isn't just about being reliable. It's about being predictable in your principles. Your partners need to know what you stand for, and honestly, even more importantly, what you won't stand for. This requires you to be crystal clear about your values and your ethical boundaries right from the very beginning. So, what are your non-negotiables? Is it absolute honesty? Is it prioritizing customer well-being over profit? Maybe it's a commitment to sustainability. You've got to articulate these principles clearly, not as a lecture, but as a statement of who you are and how you operate. This kind of clarity, it acts as a compass for the partnership, guiding decisions and behaviors. The true test of these values, though, comes when they're challenged. At some point, you'll face a situation where you could cut a corner for a quick profit or compromise a principle just to close a deal. This is your moment to prove that your values aren't just words on a website. Having the courage to refuse a deal that conflicts with your ethics, or to walk away from a profitable opportunity that just feels wrong, is honestly one of the most profound ways to earn respect. It sends an unmistakable message: my principles are not for sale. This consistency in your values makes you a stable and predictable force, someone your partners can rely on to do the right thing, even when it's the hard thing. And that kind of trust, it's honestly priceless. Trust is not a destination you arrive at and then just forget about. It's a living, breathing thing that needs to be nurtured, like, continuously. The strongest partnerships are those that treat trust as a practice, not just a one-time achievement. They're committed to growing together, which means they're constantly checking in on the health of their relationship. Schedule regular reviews that go beyond just project metrics. Create a dedicated space to talk about the partnership itself. Ask the tough questions. How are we working together? What can I do to be a better partner to you? Is there anything that's causing friction for you? This really requires humility and a genuine desire for improvement. When you actively ask for feedback on your performance as a partner, you're showing that you value their perspective and are truly committed to strengthening the bond. It's also crucial to make sure your long-term goals remain aligned. Businesses pivot, priorities shift, and people evolve, so regularly revisit your shared vision to make sure you're still rowing in the same direction. This continuous process of checking in, seeking feedback, and realigning your goals, it reinforces the foundation of trust day after day. It transforms the partnership from a static agreement into a dynamic, evolving alliance that gets stronger over time. In any new relationship, there's a real temptation to immediately focus on what's in it for me. We all want to see a return on our investment of time and energy, but the partners who build the most profound and lasting trust, they operate from a different paradigm. They focus on creating value first. They adopt a mindset of giving before they even think about taking. Before you ask for the contract, before you discuss revenue share, before you even seek your own gain, focus all your energy on genuinely helping your potential partner. How can you solve a problem for them, right now, with no strings attached? This could be as simple as providing a valuable introduction, sharing a key insight from your experience, or maybe offering a free consultation on a challenge they're facing. When you lead with generosity, you fundamentally change the dynamic of the relationship. You move it from a negotiation to a collaboration. You're demonstrating your capability and your character in the most tangible way possible. You're showing them that you're invested in their success, not just your own. This approach builds a deep reservoir of goodwill and trust. By the time you do discuss terms, your partner is already convinced of your value because they've already experienced it. As we wrap up, I want you to hold on to one central idea. Trust is not a tactic. It's a result. It's the natural outcome of consistent, honorable behavior. You can't talk your way into it, you have to act your way into it. Remember this simple truth. Trust is earned through behavior, not words. Every action you take, every promise you keep, and every time you choose integrity over convenience, you're making a deposit in your trust account. It's a slow, deliberate process, but the dividends it pays are immeasurable, creating partnerships that can weather any storm and achieve any goal. So what is the path forward? It's beautifully simple. Be consistent, be honest, be useful, show up on time, do what you say you will do, communicate openly, take responsibility, care about the human on the other side of the table. These aren't complex strategies, they're commitments of character. They're the small, daily disciplines that, compounded over time, build a reputation that precedes you. This is how you become the partner everyone wants to work with, the one people are willing to take a chance on, the one they stick with for the long haul. Ultimately, remember this. The strongest business relationships are not built by contracts, but by character. The legal documents are there for protection, but the real strength of your alliance lies in the unspoken understanding that you have each other's backs. It's a bond forged in reliability and sealed with integrity. As you move forward, carry this quote with you as a guide. People may forgive a financial loss, but they rarely forgive a breach of trust. Protect it above all else.